The following podcast contains spoilers and adult language. Listener discretion is advised.
Hey, this is Hal Sparks.
Zoltan!
And you're listening to, what the hell's the name of this podcast again?
The Showdown.
The Showdown. It's just so sad. Not for the people who do it. I mean, they at least it gives them something to do, sort of outpatient behavior. But for God's sake, why are you listening to this? Please turn it off. Please. It's distracting you from driving. You're ignoring your children. If you have them, I feel I can't do anymore. This is terrible. Showdown podcast. Really?
The Showdown Podcast presents the Survivor Series with Corey Miller, Vic Miller, and Brad Scott. This week's episode, Coming to America. Welcome to the three-time award-winning Showdown Podcast. We are joined, as always, via the phone by Vic. Finally, a movie with some black people, Miller.
I agree.
And I am joined in the Miller Zoo, Corey's Evil Lair, by Corey. Way too many black people in this movie, Miller.
I knew that was coming.
And I am Brad Scott. Where are all the Arab brothers at? Oh, I forgot to do the nickname in between. That's who I am. And this is, of course, we're taking a look back at it, and
Nice timing.
before we get to that, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Hello, gentlemen.
We appreciate you guys listening and rating and reviewing us, that you won't do, and following on social media and all that good stuff. All right, how you guys been since last time we recorded?
I know.
I feel like it's been a while.
Yeah. It has been a while.
I've been anticipating this moment for quite a while.
Yeah, this is actually... Vic had suggested this movie like back in, February?
Yeah, something like that, you fucker.
And it keeps getting pushed back.
Well, maybe it's late.
Or it's just early for next year.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, Vic, you get 4 black movies a year, sometimes 3.
Hold on. Then I need to catch up.
Well, we still have half the year left.
Join us next February as we do Roots Part 1 through 4.
In the 4-part special episode.
Vic's Revenge.
I've tied them down to the chair and made them participate in this.
So, 80s comedies. This is one of the biggest 80s comedies of all time.
I think so.
Yeah.
What are the other big 80s comedies?
Oh, God. I mean... I hate to say it, I mean, you have to look at Eddie Murphy's movies at his catalog in general, and you can probably pick out a few from that. Trading Places is a good one. Harlem Nights, was that more, would you say as a comedy or more of a drama?
It was a comedy.
Yeah.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
You mean the movie that starred Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, I know, and Red Fox.
And Red Fox.
Yeah, but I know, there was a lot of humor in it too. But I think it was a lot more dramatic than any of their other movies as well too. As
always, I will interject with my my list of the top comedies of the 80s.
Oh, he has a list.
Can we trust that list? Is this the same list that gave us Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles as an Oscar Best Picture nominee?
We'll have to see how it works out. So, starting.
Looks like top 80s comedies. Dude, Where's My Car? Trainwreck.
This is a list of the top 100, but I'm going to give the top
94?
20.
Oh.
I'm going to give the top
Would have
20.
been such a better joke if you would have gone, but I'm only going to give the top 94.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
So here's the list. And number 20, A Christmas Story.
Okay.
Number 19, Princess Bride.
I don't really see that as a comedy, though.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Are you kidding me? Just think about who's in that movie,
I know,
dude.
but I see it more as a fantasy movie, though.
Okay.
I'm sorry to
You know
tell you,
what?
Corey, you're wrong.
Well, I don't know
You're
what that
wrong.
was. I know what he said.
You're wrong, Corey.
I
He's
understand.
saying you were
Princess
wrong.
Bride is actually comedy.
What else? What else is next? Vic?
What's the
All
next
right,
one on the
Revenge-
list, Vic?
Revenge of the Nerds is number 18.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I see that as a comedy.
Oh, shut
Number
up.
17 is Big.
Okay,
Number 16, Stripes.
that was the '80s. Yeah, I guess it was. Okay.
Let's see. Number 15, Naked Gun from the Files of Police Squad.
You okay?
Number 14, Police Academy.
I was just getting ready to say that's probably in there.
Not according to this show.
Apparently not. Number 13, Spaceballs.
Mm-hmm. I'll agree
Number
with that.
12, Coming to America.
There we go. Number 12.
Number 11, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
I never saw that.
Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Number 10, Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9, Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
No, say his name one more
Number-
time and he appears.
Number 8, Back to the Future.
Okay.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is number 7.
Okay.
Number 6, Caddyshack.
I was wondering about that one. I wasn't sure if that was 70s or 80s.
Number 5, another Eddie Murphy movie, Trading Places.
There he goes.
Yeah, the flip-flopping.
Number 4, Vacation.
All right. Is Three Amigos one of the top 3?
No. Number 3, another Eddie Murphy, Beverly Hills Cop.
Okay.
Eggs
Number
are always
2.
not to be messed with.
Number 2, Airplane.
Mm.
Surely
And-
can't be serious. I am, but don't call me Shirley.
And the number 1 comedy of the 80s by ranker is Ghostbusters.
Who are you going to call?
Ghostbusters.
That's just where you stopped. I mean, you didn't want to finish that statement. I mean,
I finished it for him.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
gonna go all the way.
that's a pretty that's a pretty good
Anticlimactic
list.
there.
That's a pretty good list. I can agree with majority of those movies.
Corey agrees with the list.
Glad we have your approval.
I hope at some point he quits that stupid voice. But I have a
You
feeling.
can hope all you want. You
As
know who
long
else?
as you see, Corey, you haven't learned your lesson yet, have
You know who else
No.
had
If
hope?
you say you hope he does stop,
Yeah.
he's not going
Yeah,
to
just,
stop.
just because I said
Vic,
it.
you're interrupting my joke. You know who did have hope, Corey?
Who?
The hurricane. The man the authorities came to blame for something that he never done.
Oh, I thought it was Hurricane Shane Helms.
Boom, 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 boom. Bam.
The,
All right, let's get into a little segment we like to call.
the good thing when he does this voice, he doesn't have his fail sound effects available. So, and now I'm
That's
sure
what
he
you
will.
think, Corey. All right, Vic, are you ready?
I'm ready, sir.
All right, it's time for a little segment we like to call.
Bankroll.
Oh, Vic, gotta wait on the music. Bankroll on bus. This is where Corey tries to guess how much money the movie made just by knowing the budget.
And
To
for this
translate for the listeners, that's where I guess the amount that the movie made in the theaters, based on the budget that they give me. Vic, what is
Correct.
the budget for this movie?
All right, Corey, this movie came out June 29th, 1988.
Summer movie.
With a budget of $39 million.
Almost 40.
Corey, what was the box office?
105.
Remember, you do get about a $3.9 million leeway.
I get some kind of leeway. That's the
$3.9 million. We got it.
Okay.
And your guess is
105.
105. And you are wrong once again, sir.
Yes.
The box office take for this movie was $288,752,301.
I'm just gonna start guessing like 300 million every time.
You
At least I'll overshoot it. Yeah, at least I'll overshoot it.
However, we've been telling you to do to try harder for a long time, and you still go low on every time.
I know. I guess the thing is, for whatever reason, I keep thinking of just the opening weekend, and then even with some of these older movies, I think that that they don't make as much as movies do today. So that's why I'm always way underneath. So because I'm obviously a very bad guesser.
Well, guess better next time, Corey, as always.
And now it's time for a little segment we like to call the Showdown Podcast History, buddy. All right, Corey, go ahead.
I don't remember the first time I saw it, but I do remember seeing this a lot when I was growing up, probably on HBO, and that's about it. All
right, Vic.
I believe that I snuck into the movie theaters to see this movie.
So you were not part of that 200 billion.
I was not. I did, however, pay for another movie that day and just made it a double feature. But I wanted to see it. I knew we wouldn't be able to get in without someone to buy the ticket for us, so we went and saw it anyway, and I loved it.
That's stealing, buddy.
No, it's 2 for 1. Shut up.
This has been the Showdown Podcast History. All right, Vic, go ahead and tell us about the movie.
Jesus. So, this movie is about a prince of a fictional African kingdom named Zamunda. Prince Akeem.
I do Zamunda every Tuesday after Pilates.
Not quite the same thing, but yeah, something like that. So basically, you get underneath of a black guy every Sunday. Never mind. His
name is Pilates.
So Akeem is your typical pampered prince, and he has everything he could possibly want or ever wish for, and he's come of age and he must get married. So his parents,
child of royalty, I can relate to that.
have arranged for him to marry a woman who is specially raised to be his ideal wife, who likes and dislikes all the same things he does, has no real opinions, will listen and do anything that he says, everything that they think he would want in a woman, but because he absolutely hates the idea of this and wants to find someone to fall in love with on his own terms.
So, ever since I was born, I've been trained to serve you.
Yes, I know this, but I would like to know about you. What do you like to do?
Whatever you like.
What kind of music do you like?
Whatever kind of music you like.
I know what I like. And I know you know what I like because you were trained to know what I like. But I would like to know what you like. For instance, do you have a favorite food?
Yes.
Good! What is your favorite food?
Whatever food you like.
Are you saying that no matter what I tell you to do, you will do?
Yes, Your Highness.
Anything I say, you do?
Yes, Your Highness.
Bark like a dog. A big dog. Hop on one leg. Make a noise like an orangutan.
I see the two of you are getting along.
Mufasa.
Excuse me, money bubble.
And she hops away. It's funny when she starts to bark. Eddie Murphy just looks at the camera, breaks that fourth wall, and looks right at the camera like, "You believe this shit?"
So he is not down with this at all. He does not want someone who doesn't have a single independent thought in his mind. So he comes up with a plan to go to America, or should I say, come to America, and find an intelligent, independent, free-thinking woman who will appreciate him for who he is, not for what he is. And being the prince of an African nation, he knows that he can get anyone he wants, and with gold diggers all over the place in every country, he comes to America and plays like he's poor. He's accompanied by his manservant / best friend,
I don't think he's
played by Arsenio Hall.
I'm not real sure he's a manservant, though.
Yeah, he is. He's his porter. He's the guy that goes around with him and does everything for him. It's his manservant.
Okay.
So anyway, they come to America. They land in Queens because they figure if he's going to be a king, he can find a woman in Queens. So solid thinking on their part. They get here and they get a ratty ass apartment. And decide that they're going to go and find American jobs, at which they finally land a position working at McDowell's.
Well, hold on. Hold on.
Wannabe version of McDonald's.
Before they do that, though, he goes out when they get that first apartment. He goes out outside to see the view, and he starts yelling something. Hold on, check this out.
Behold, Cindy, life, real life, a thing that we have been denied for far too long. Good morning, my neighbors! Hey, fuck you! Yes! Yes! Fuck you, too!
I love that. Hey, fuck you! Okay, so they go...
He's getting a real piece of New York hospitality, that's all.
Yeah, and I noticed in that clip, too, that Arsenio looks at the camera, too.
They do it throughout the whole movie. Like there's a constant. I don't think it was so much looking at the camera as you're supposed to be looking at the people. Yeah, looking at other people in the in their frame of view. Like they're actually looking at us as being there with them, not so much just the camera.
Yeah.
But they go about everyday life trying to find someone, and basically in today's vernacular, he'd be looking for your typical wifey type material, but he also wants someone who's intelligent is one of the biggest things, and that will like him for, like I said, him being himself, not just because he comes from money. So they play as students, if I remember correctly, and that they're there to try to learn as much about America as possible, and they do get a job basically working in McDonald's, cleaning up and McDowell's. Yeah, I keep saying McDonald's. McDowell's. Yeah. And he falls in love with the owner's daughter, in which he does have one intelligent daughter and he has one gold digging crazy ass daughter.
Yeah.
And he falls in love with the more intelligent one because he sees her at a he kind of meets her, and then he ends up seeing her kind of doing the things that he thinks is going important in a I guess a future wife, and she's socially motivated, you know, she's a hard worker, that kind of thing.
Well, the
only problem is
he first lays eyes on her when they go to a black Miss Black awareness pageant.
Right.
No, I didn't come here to preach to you today. But you know, when I look at these contestants, for the Miss Black Awareness pageant. I feel good. I feel good because I know there's a God somewhere. There's a God somewhere. Turn around, ladies, for me, please. You know there's a God who sits on high and looks down low. Man cannot make it like this. Larry Flint, Hugh Hefner, they can take the picture, but they can't make it. Only God above, the Hugh Hefner on high, can make it for you.
The Hugh Hefner on high.
Yeah. So that was Arsenio Hall playing a second character in this movie. No, he plays at least
several.
Yeah, he plays several characters.
They both.
But then he ends up introducing their music entertainment. And their music entertainment is Randy Watson and Sexual Chocolates.
Put your hands together and welcome him to the stage. Big round of applause for Jackson Heights' own Mr. Randy Watson. Yes, Randy Watson. That boy is good. Good and terrible.
And Reverend Brown. 3 years for the Reverend. This man's been my Reverend since I was a little boy, and I love him dearly. He's a very special man. Reverend Brown. Reverend Brown. It feels so lovely to be here tonight. What a beautiful love. Give yourselves a round of applause. You're so lovely. Everyone's so lovely. And while you're in the clapping mood, I'd like to give a big round of applause to my band, Sexual Chocolate. Sexual Chocolate. They play so fine, don't you agree? I believe the children are our future. Thank you. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the beauty they possess inside. Give them a sense of pride. Make it easier.
So that goes on for a little bit, and that's where he's introduced to the daughter. Well, actually, both daughters and Mr. McDowell, because the McDowells is catering this event, so they're kind of advertising for themselves as well too. Carry on.
I was just waiting to see. I didn't know if I was going to get preempted by another clip.
No, not yet. Not yet.
All right, so so she gives her impassionate plea to try to bring awareness to the community and to help them start a playground for kids in the community. And like I said, basically. Akeem falls in love with her, and he decides that this is the woman for him, and he's going to try to woo her as best as possible. The problem is she has a boyfriend, and her boyfriend, played by Eric LaSalle, known for ER and more recently for Logan, the movie, is playing Daryl Jenks, the son of the Soul Glow Jerry Curl Juice proprietor. So she, like I said, he's kind of wanting to go out with her. She's kind of eyeing Akeem. I think she starts falling in love with him a little early. And the jerk decides that he's going to just go ahead and let everyone know that they're getting married without actually informing her that they were getting married. And she gets pissed off and breaks up with him. And when that happens, she throws it towards Akeem. He catches it and decides he's going to make an honest woman out of her. So he starts telling her, that he's a goat farmer from a Wakandan goat farmer or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
To let her know that he's just a common everyday man. Because again, he wants her to like him for being him and not for the fact that he's a prince. When he starts overcompensating, he ends up giving away all of his money. And when that happens, Semi, who is his manservant / best friend / Arsenio Hall, calls his dad and he's like, you need to come get him because he's done lost his damn mind. He thinks we can do all this shit without any money. And
because at one point he ends up giving the landlord of the apartments, giving him his apartment, which Arsenio Hall has gone out and spent all this money to soup up everything, and he gives him that apartment, and they take the shittier apartment that's downstairs.
Well, because they want to look humble.
Exactly.
So he can't take it anymore, so he calls his dad. He's like, you need to come get him. And when his father shows up, now the whole time that this is all going on, the dad, Mr. McDowell, was playing the fact that no daughter of mine is going to ever marry a goat farmer from Africa.
Right.
He didn't think he was worthy, and he didn't want her to be married to someone who was poor because of all the hard work that he put into making his empire and yada, yada, yada. However, as soon as Mufasa shows up and Nala show up, he's all of a sudden all about him and like, oh, you're a prince? Oh, that's a completely different story.
Yeah, he totally changes his tune.
You can have both my daughters if you want.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is there's one scene you didn't mention when he announces that he's gonna when Eric LaSalle announces that he's gonna marry the daughter. They're at the McDowell's house and he's sitting on the couch. And when he gets up, there's a big Jerry Curl juice wet spot on the back of the couch, and his mom, I think it's his mom and his grandma, maybe, or his mom and dad are sitting on the couch too. They get up and there's big Jerry Curl wet spots too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Look, Jerry Curls were the thing back in the day. Okay, it's stuff that's.
Do you have a Jerry Curl, Vic?
I actually never had a Jerry Curl.
Did you have a big box like Kid from Kid and Play?
No, I did not.
You look like you would totally rock one of those.
Yeah.
I can actually see you with both.
Yeah.
I
see more with the box, though.
I see more of the Jerry Curl.
The Jerry Curl thing takes way too much work and is just too messy. And I guess I kind of had a little bit of a tilted fade, but not much. It was very, very low key, nothing high top or anything like that.
I think he needs to supply us with some high school pictures that show off that hairstyle.
My high school picture doesn't have that hairstyle at all.
Okay, so. Middle school then. There's got to be one.
I don't know. I can look, but I don't think I have anything back in the day. You know, we weren't technologically advanced. Everybody walking around with a phone at the time. So
okay, here's what we'll do.
Those have to be hard copies, and I don't know where those would be.
We will find out what high school or middle school you went to. We will look it up online. It's got to be out there.
That would be Church Farm School in Exton, PA. Good luck.
Okay, Brad's looking that up right now.
He probably is. That, or he's going to grab a picture of me and like slap a high top fade on it.
He'll just Photoshop your face.
Which actually, I could probably do that for you guys by next week, just for the fun of it.
Do one with a Jerry Curl too.
Oh no!
just put your face over Eric LaSalle's face. I think that'll work.
So so once he finds out that he's a prince, Mr. McDowell decides that, no, we want you in the family. I've been grooming you the whole time. You're the greatest person I've ever met. So the gold digger in him just comes right out. However, it works in reverse because Lisa gets pissed off when she finds out that he's a prince and he's been lying to her the whole time. So she wants nothing to do with him at that point, and she storms off pissed. And so, long story short, he feels like he can't. He's not gonna have his dream wife. So he goes back and agrees to marry the puppy. And when he goes,
she may still be hopping on one foot.
It's very possible because he never told her to stop.
Right.
So he goes back to Zamunda, and as they're leaving, the mother and Mufasa and Nala are talking, and he's like, "Look, we've got a history. There's nothing we can do about this. Like, who am I to try to change history just so he can be happy?" And Nala's like, "I'm pretty sure that you're the fucking king and do what you want." He's like, "Oh yeah, I guess that's true."
Yeah.
And fast forward to the wedding. and he's agreed to marry the puppy. So he's going down the aisle and he's looking all sad and butthurt over the whole situation. When he gets to the to his bride and he lifts up the veil, who's there? But lo and behold, Lisa, and we have a happy ending on once and for all. And yeah, so
and Arsenio's character actually ends up with the sister, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So everyone ended up happy, and it's a good thing.
Down the high school picture of Vic.
Oh Jesus!
He looks like Theo Huxtable with glasses. He looks like Stephen Urkel when he becomes Stefan Urkel, but he hasn't taken off the glasses yet.
Did you find that on my Facebook page?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my senior picture.
There's a character from some TV show.
That's my wife right below me too.
My wife.
My wife.
Jennifer Dirch.
Yep.
I don't.
Dirty.
Dirch. What was that?
Dirty.
Pass the dirty on the left hand side.
Dirty. Huh?
Your wife was hot in high school, Vic.
You're such an ass.
I had to laugh to break it, but I wanted to let that linger. It just felt how awkward it was going to get.
Vic's probably going, is that funny?
Oh, thanks for the material, Victor. I know it. I'll be cleaning mortals too later.
Oh Jesus!
That picture of Victor Miller from high school.
Pew.
Pew, pew.
Oh,
okay, so that's it. So yeah, that's gonna take us to the commercial.
Oh, you're listening to the Showdown podcast.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
It's commercial time. Corey, tell people where they can find you.
You can find me.
No, don't. Vic, go ahead.
All right. I may not be the king of Zamunda, but I am Miller King 51 on all social media, and you can find me playing video games as Black and Angry. That's BLAQ, the letter N, and Angry.
All right, Corey. I'm going to go ahead and say that the Showdown podcast is available on Twitter and Instagram at the Showdown Pod, and you can find us on Facebook, the Showdown Podcast. Click like somebody should. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Brad Scott Comedy, and you can find me on Facebook, Comedian Brad Scott. And also check out WrestleMania. So it's not pro wrestling talk, it's sports entertaining. It's a podcast about pro wrestling, but it's a parody podcast, so it's funny. It's not trying to be serious. You can also check out the Miller Times Pod at the Miller Times Pod on social media, and check them out on iTunes, Stitcher, and all that good stuff.
You can also find me on Twitter and Letterboxd at NKOGonzo. Currently on Letterboxd. You can find
And now back to the show. Welcome back. This is the 3-time award-winning Showdown podcast. You are listening to our Coming to America episode. And now it's time to figure out if Coming to America is a survivor. So let's start with Vic. This was your selection, so go ahead.
It was my selection, and like I said, I enjoyed it the first time I've seen it. I've seen it probably a good 100 times since then. It always makes me laugh. The jokes don't really get funny. You know, they get older, but it just kind of gets more nostalgic as it gets older rather than getting worse. So this definitely holds up for me.
Corey?
For me, yeah, it still holds up. Like Vic, I've seen this probably 100 times. Every time it's on Comedy Central, I'll watch it. I don't care if it's edited, if it's on HBO, whatever. I'll watch it. And to me, the jokes still hold up. I don't really think they're very there's not any really timely jokes that don't hold up. So everything for me works, and it's hilarious still.
All right, so I don't even need to go. It's officially a survivor. It is going into the Hall of Fame.
Hold on, no, hold on. You do need to go because if it's if it's like a major Hall of Famer, it gets a three-way call.
You know what just happened, Corey?
Yeah.
So this episode, we were trying to we're okay, kind of like the Celtics here, this year's Celtics, and I'm like Isaiah Thomas, really good on offense, but I have absolutely no defense whatsoever. So we were trying to hide my poor defense by keeping me,
at bay.
At bay.
Yeah.
You see, okay, you know what? Let's be honest with the audience. I didn't watch this movie. I've never seen it in my entire life. I know it's weird, but I've never seen it, and I didn't watch it. So
okay, and tell us why.
Hold on. Let me finish my analogy first. So I didn't watch this movie, so we were trying to kind of hide me through this episode and letting you guys take the reins with that, and we had done a really good job. I just didn't say anything with the history. I was doing funny voices to distract people and divert attention away.
Look over here.
And we were doing the Isaiah Thomas thing. We were hiding my really bad defense. And then we got to the conference finals, and Vic goes, "You're going to guard LeBron." So, yeah, Vic, I can't really say whether it holds up or not because I haven't seen it.
Right. And why haven't you seen it?
Because I can't stand Eddie Murphy.
In no incarnation of Eddie Murphy, you can't stand him.
No, I mean, okay, I take that back. It's not that I can't stand him. I don't know. I feel like this movie was just so over, it's people just hold it in this regard of it's the greatest comedy ever. And it was one of those things where I almost got jaded about it because at a certain point when people are like, "You've coming to America? What's wrong with you? I can't believe that." And it's yeah, well, now I don't want to see
Did you turn into Tasmanian Devil for a second?
A little bit.
But I hear that all the time. I have a friend of mine does the same shit with Bad Santa. I can't believe you never seen Bad Santa. You call yourself a comedian.
You call yourself a comedian because you haven't.
Yeah, I know. I tell them all the time, that doesn't make any fucking sense.
Yeah.
But that's a comedy. Well, comedians haven't seen every goddamn comedy. All right? I haven't seen Coming to America. I haven't seen Tombstone. What other name other fucking famous movies?
Twister.
I've seen that. What?
I don't know.
Who holds Twister in this high regard and of everyone has to see it?
First movie came to mind, and I haven't seen it, so.
Why? What? What the fuck is wrong with you? So not only did you not go with a movie that would fit the Coming to America, the Bad Santa, the Tombstone, that kind of stuff.
You put Bad Santa in the category of Tombstone, and
as far as movie, because for Christmas movies, it's a movie pretty much a lot of people have seen, and a lot of people hold it as one of the iconic Christmas movies. Yeah. So that's why. But okay, even better than Twister. Why didn't you just go with Jaws: The Revenge?
How about Jaws 1? Karate Kid.
Why do I keep showing up?
Karate Kid 3.
I mainly bring it up and I I mainly put you on point simply because I wanted to find out if it was a thing against Eddie Murphy or just the movie itself because of the hype.
It's because he's
the hype.
Normally, if you don't like someone, in the past, if you don't like an actor that's in a movie, you still normally have something to say about the movie in general. So I was really wanting to find out if you just really hate Eddie Murphy that much.
No, I don't
like the idea of the movie.
I love Dave, or Meet Dave, or whatever.
Meet Dave, yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually liked a lot of his movies. I liked The Nutty Professor when I saw it. But there's just that Coming to America, it just had that stigma. I love Beverly Hills Cop.
Is it just because people talk it up so much you just refuse to watch it?
Yeah, and no, not even as much as people talk it up. It was the reaction I got from people when I said I hadn't seen it.
Oh.
Just that whole, oh my God, what's wrong with you? Same thing with cigarettes. That's how you get treated when you're a smoker.
Duh, you smoke? Ugh.
Well, no, it's okay, so weed will be legalized some point in the next few years, I'd imagine, maybe the next 10 years.
I hope.
And once the novelty wears off, weed smokers are going to get treated just like us cigarette smokers have for years, where people just treat you like shit. You're at your friend's house, watching the big game, and you step outside to smoke a joint. You're going to have to listen to your friends and be like, oh my God, Corey's going to go outside and get high again. He's going to come back in, the couch is going to smell like weed.
Yeah. And you come back and say, it smells like weed.
I'm allergic. But that's what they do with cigarette smokers.
Yeah, I know.
And it's I hate it. So Yeah, it became one of those things where, like, the more people acted so astonished and so like there was something wrong with me because I hadn't seen one Eddie Murphy movie from the 80s, it became where I was almost, like, defiant about it.
So much so that he wouldn't even watch it for our own show.
Right.
Yeah, to be fair, I kind of forgot.
Yeah, I figured it.
But then I watched Rambo 2 today and fell asleep after about 30 minutes. And then I just didn't have time to watch Coming to America.
Yeah, like you had like 2 weeks to watch it.
Yeah, I know. Well, but here's the thing. Oh, another thing. We need to figure something out. You guys start messaging a whole bunch, and what movies we're doing gets lost in the shuffle. And so I don't half time I'm not even aware of what movies we have coming up. Like, what's our next episode?
We don't know yet. We haven't discussed that.
How about you pick?
The next movie we're gonna do is Class Act.
With Kid and Play?
Yes.
Can we even find that anywhere?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I actually just saw it the other day in my list.
We're gonna do Class Act and Boys in the Hood. That's my next two choices.
Vic will be happy about that.
I was about to say Corey may protest.
Well, that's
there
three
does
of your
be
four.
too many black people.
That's 3 of your 4 movies for this year, Vic.
Hey, that's one of my picks. Corey, you're gonna have to go through more because that was Brad's pick, not mine.
We're gonna do Get Out. But no, like I don't hate Eddie Murphy movies. Or hate Eddie Murphy. It was more the hype around that. But I mean, so he fell off. He was one of the biggest stars of the 80s. Was still pretty big in the 90s.
Then he got married and had kids.
Tried to pick up a transvestite hooker, but
and that's where things went downhill with movies.
Oh, with having the kids.
Yeah. No, I'm serious. If you look at it,
my joke was following the transvestite hooker thing, and you saying that's when his movie career went downhill, and me saying because he had the kids.
Well, yeah, it's all together though. I mean, once he had kids, he stopped making all these R-rated comedies and started making shit like Adventures of Pluto Nash. So, yeah. And I'm not the only one that's saying this. There are a lot of people that say that as well too. Vic, do you have like a list or something there?
All right, so how about triplets?
Triplets? What is that?
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito, and Eddie Murphy are triplets.
Wait a minute, wasn't that a rumor though? Is that really going to happen?
It's on here. They haven't done it. There's no date on it, but it's listed as a movie that he's.
I heard about that.
Development.
I heard about that last year or something. I hope that does not happen.
Is Danny DeVito can he even stand on his own anymore?
Yeah,
he's in It's Always Sunny.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, but that is just a horrible idea. I mean, everybody laughs at twins because it's Arnold and Danny DeVito, but that was in the 80s. You kind of, let that slide. But then trying to do a sequel to that 25 years later,
you find out that there was a third baby, and they had the genetic genes of all of the different people involved in the program, and some of them there was a black guy and a black woman. So for them to say, hey, there was another one out there, you never know.
Such a stupid
What
idea.
kind of list are you reading?
It's a list of all of Eddie Murphy's movies.
Oh, that's the list?
Well, that's not the whole list. I just brought that up.
But like, I thought you had like a list of like best or movies or something like that.
No, he asked me if I have a list of Eddie Murphy's movies, and I said, yeah, I have that up.
Is that the list that you told us you wanted us to set you up on?
No.
Okay, well,
that's what he was doing.
About setting up, I just wanted. Vic, I wanted to find. I was looking for a list of the movies so I could try to
Vic,
throw.
Did you not hear the way he threw it to you in the most obvious? Well, Vic, I mean, just out of curiosity, do you happen to have some sort of list available?
He didn't understand. I was saying that I was looking for a list because I wanted to throw some movies at you to see what your response was going to be based on those movies. But you actually basically threw a bunch of the movies out yourself.
No, but
so
let's still do it.
Kind of negated that part.
Let's still do it. Go ahead.
All right. So Norbert.
No.
No,
I'm gonna stay away from like Beverly Hills Cop, like the main. I'm gonna stay away from the main ones.
Okay.
I've watched a little bit of that recently, and it's kind of funny on a stupid level. but it wasn't enough to keep me watching the entire movie.
Okay, so we did bring up Harlem Nights, but I think that one you had to like that one.
Oh,
Yes.
Like that.
I love that
Okay.
movie.
Let's go a little more recent. Tower Heist.
Never seen it.
That movie was stupid. That was downright stupid. It's, the one with Ben Stiller in it.
Never seen it.
Oh God, the whole premise is ridiculous. And move on.
All right, Golden Child.
Never seen
Yes,
it.
love it.
The Haunted Mansion.
Never seen
Let's
it.
go Disney.
Didn't care for it.
I Spy. Little Owen Wilson
Hated it.
there.
Wow. A movie I'm in.
Yeah, that one actually annoyed the piss out of me too, so I'm with you on that one.
Wow, that's mean. No, I've never seen that movie.
Dr. Dolittle.
Liked it.
The first one was good.
Yeah, the first one.
Metro.
Never saw it.
Hated it.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't like his hair.
You didn't like
You didn't see the movie.
No, he was on the cover of the movie. You forget, I worked at Blockbuster. I saw the cover. Didn't like it.
Okay. I don't know how to respond to that
I
statement.
lost
The
you.
next
Okay.
movie.
How about Vampire in Brooklyn?
I had a moment. It had its moments.
I actually thought you were going to say you hated that one.
Nah, I
I'm
mean,
impressed.
there's a few because I can always remember the joke of what he's in the cab and he's like something about you want Italian or Chinese for dinner. He's like, oh, I've already had Italian.
Right.
He ate a guy.
It's been
Okay,
a long time since I've seen that.
How about Bowfinger?
I actually kind of like that movie.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
That's with Steve Martin, right?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. So, and then our last one would be Trading Places.
Love it.
Never seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that one of those ones that's like
No, it's not.
Coming to
No, it's not
America?
like Coming to America. It's just I just never have it. Isn't it weird how you always have to explain why you didn't see certain movies?
Well, we
Like-
are a podcast. and
No,
we
no,
are
no. But
talking
I'm
about
saying
it.
in life, people do that in life too. Hey, why haven't you seen it? Like, I don't know. What do you want me to go through my fucking schedule? Like, well, one day I was fucking busy, and yeah, back in '94, had an opportunity. Like, it's so dumb. Like, I just haven't seen it. Can we just leave it at that?
Maybe.
Why is everybody coming after me? Now I know what it feels like to be black, Vic.
We're persecuting you because of Eddie Murphy.
Yes. Feel like I'm in Delaware. I think that's the show.
We did it.
We did it. We got through it.
We did.
For Corey Miller,
Yep.
Vic Miller,
No one and only.
No relation.
I am Brad Scott. We'll talk to you next time, and I still won't have seen Bad Santa or Coming to America. This has been the Showdown Podcast.
What about Twister?
My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. Of thee I sing, of thee I sing
They're coming to America, buddy.